Welcome. Let's roll on some of the dumb things I've done with diet. I told you I'd do this. So I'm up here at the local China Mart. Thank you, Dr. Barry, for that name. I'm going to use it forever. I love it. And I'm going to show you some of the stupid things I've done. Now, I want to preface this with if you've done some of these things and it works for you, I am glad. I am telling you it didn't work for me. And if you were thinking about doing some of these things, I want you to think, hey, you know, I call it a waste of money, and so do a lot of other people, so maybe you should look closely. But it's still up to you. I'm just telling you, I wasted my money on these and it didn't work. And I'll tell you why. I want to make sure I don't piss off the local China Mart people. So, one of my favorites, Nutrisystem. Oh, great cardboard. And I do have to say, the plan does kind of work. Not sustainable at all. I mean, it is just horrible existence. It's very costly, and it's a horrible existence. I love food. I mean, you can't be miserable. I was miserable. Which, just, they have all the flavors and all the things. Oh, and I'd love buying these little bars, because I'd eat a whole box in a day. Oh, it's okay. Just eat another. Oh, it's okay. Just have another. Oh my God. So I'm a keto person. Really? The keto stuff they're coming out with, keto protein, I'm sure it's got a billion things in it that I wouldn't like. Coconut creamer, corn syrup solids. This is keto? My ass. Anyways, so. Oh, and look, there's supplements up here. Oh, we could go a billion years on the things I've wasted my money on there. I never actually bought the Hydroxycut, believe it or not, but I did buy the Garcinia Cambodia. Yes, I made that mistake. Well, that did nothing. And there was one in here I used for the longest time because it had probiotics. Yeah, the Mega Fat Burner. I knew it did nothing, but I like the probiotics. So, and whatever. Oh, let's see. Slim Fast meal shakes. Actually, I sustained my weight on these, using these as meal substitutes. On the road, I would do this for breakfast and lunch and then have a dinner. So I'm not going to completely bash Slim Fast. Like, it kept me in balance. But it left me longing a lot of the time. Like, I really I wasn't hungry as much as I was completely dissatisfied. And more keto stuff. Now, I have to say, I'm going to bring this up. It's horrible stuff. This keto fat bomb from Slim Fast. I know it's got junk in it. I know it's not good. And I know you can make your own fat bombs better, but I don't have time. And sometimes I have a hankering. And so I have bought them, and it's not horrible tasting. I know it's horrible food and I shouldn't suggest it, but I mean, if you're keto and you're just looking for a fat bomb and you're looking for something really easy, I would not touch the meal bars. It's full of junk. Like I said, the fat bomb's probably full of junk, but it's not horrible. Their meal shakes, again, I mean, they have corn syrup in there, and that goes against the whole point. I know the fat bombs aren't perfect either, but kind of the idea. I went through Atkins for a while, which, by the way, if you don't understand this, Atkins, yeah, there's my favorite, the chocolate coconut bar. Yeah, that would be the problem with buying stuff like this. You're not really dedicated. Again, back to if this is working for you, great. But 10-pack lasts me 3 days. Because I was hungry. I was starving all the time because I was doing this. I mean, Atkins in and of itself, the high protein, low carb, just kind of more or less what I'm doing right now. Kind of, it's not bad. But when you're buying it in a box, you're not really doing Atkins. You see, people complain about the Atkins diet because they bought it in a box. That's the problem. Slim Fast has always been in a box and always been a meal shake thing, so we understood that. Atkins was a diet plan that was taken over by a corporation, by Big Food, that made a entire thing out of it. You read the book, it has nothing to do with Dr. Atkins wanting you to buy triple chocolate bars. In fact, I believe, I haven't read the book, But if I understand things correctly, you weren't supposed to be eating triple chocolate bars, which is basically low sugar, high protein. It still has sugar, and it still has, huge amounts of fiber. So now we're going to go over to another section. I know, supplements. I could do, I need to do a whole thing on the supplements. I've wasted my money on test boosters and everything else. We're going to do one other thing, and then I'll do part 2 over in the food aisle. So we get over to the protein bars and the protein shakes. Now, I'm not going to necessarily see keto powder. Really? Look, you can't buy a bottle diet. You have to do a real diet. That is always my mistake. Every single one of these is I was trying to buy myself thin, and which protein's not a bad thing, right? But again, when I did it the first time, I was trying to buy myself thin. You cannot buy yourself thin. You have to actually put in the time. I'm sorry. It's as simple as that. You can't, and this is my problem with protein. Protein is good. Protein, but these are all protein bars. And this one has 3 grams of sugar. That's low. It's 200 calories, but that's 200 very quick calories with sugar in it. And I can't pronounce half of these ingredients. If you can't pronounce the ingredients, I told you guys I use a whey protein when I can't get my calories in, or I need a meal replacement, or I feel like my protein's low for the day. I use a protein, and it is whey protein isolate. That's the ingredients. Whey isolate. That's the only ingredient, and I think it has less than 1% sunflower lecithins, and that's to make it stick. But the ingredient, there's not 20 ingredients. 1. And like I said, I am not using it as a meal replacement. I'm using it to substitute, to supplement when I need it. I don't even use it. I haven't had one of those shakes in 5 or 6 days. But some of these protein cookies, and this I think is one of my biggest problems. Again, back to the bars are really easy to eat, they're very fast to eat, and they're sweet. And they have protein cookies and protein chocolate chips, and you're not getting yourself away from the bad things. You're still treating. These are treats. They taste good. They taste desirable. So even the protein can be problematic. So, and I really I'm just looking over here at all the different things that I could go into as far as supplements I bought that were just ridiculous. But the protein I used is a meal replacement. And by the way, I wasn't working out. I wasn't working out enough to even need that much protein. So I was doubling up protein, eating unhealthy. So this is part 1 on the dumb side of the one of the store. Let's go ahead and do part 2 on the next video, and we'll go look at the grocery side of the store and see how much dumb I did. A little bit more tricky over there, going to be private. So until next time, stay safe.